Mikhail Jurjevič Hraboŭski, better known as Mikhail Grabovski, is a professional ice hockey player currently with the New York Islanders of the National Hockey League. Early life: Grabovski was born in Potsdam, East Germany, where his father, Yuri, worked in construction. The family returned to their native Belarus when he was 3 years old. Playing career: Grabovski was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens 150th overall in the 2004 NHL entry draft and played his first NHL game with Montreal on January 6, 2007, against the New York Rangers. He played 3 games in the NHL before being sent back down to Montreal's American Hockey League affiliate, the Hamilton Bulldogs. Grabovski helped the Hamilton Bulldogs win the AHL Calder Cup championship in 2006 July season. Grabovski was called up to play in some games with the Canadiens during the 2007 Euro 08 season. He did not see much playing time because he was low on the depth chart of a team that won the Eastern Conference points race. Grabovski recorded his first NHL assist on October 20, 2007, against the Buffalo Sabres and his first goal 2 days later against the Boston Bruins. Grabovski was traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs on July 3, 2008, in exchange for the draft rights to Greg Porter and a 2010 second-round draft pick. As a 25-year-old, Grabovski went on to finish his first full season in Toronto with 20 goals and 48 points, leading all NHL Eastern Conference rookies in scoring. The Toronto Maple Leafs rewarded Grabovski for his rookie season performance by re-signing him to a 3-year contract worth a total of $8.7 million. This contract represented an average annual cap hit of $2.9 million. His 58 points in the 2010-2011 NHL regular season is the highest among Maple Leaf centers since Matt Sundin's 78 points in the 2007-2008 NHL season. On March 6, 2012, the Toronto Maple Leafs re-signed Grabovski to a 5-year contract worth a total of $27.5 million. The contract represents an average annual cap hit of $5.5 million. Grabovski signed with CSKA Moscow of the KHL on September 25, 2012 in order to play during the NHL lockout. Following a disappointing 2012-13 season in which he recorded only 9 goals and 16 points in 48 games, Grabovski was unexpectedly placed on waivers and listed to be bought out by the Toronto Maple Leafs on July 4, 2013. On August 23, 2013, Grabovski was signed as a free agent to a 1-year contract by the Washington Capitals. In his first regular season game with the Capitals on October 1, 2013, Grabovski scored a hat-trick in a 6-4 loss to the Chicago Blackhawks. Grabovski completed the 2013 Euro 14 season, with a respectable 35 points in 58 games as the Capitals failed to reach the playoffs for the first time in 7 seasons. On July 2, 2014, Grabovski left the Capitals as a free agent and signed a 4-year $20 million contract with the New York Islanders. Controversies: in March 2008, after being a healthy scratch for a game against the Phoenix Coyotes, Grabovski left the Montreal Canadiens and flew to Los Angeles to consult with his agent. The incident prompted his trade to the Toronto Maple Leafs that summer. In January 2009, Grabovski was involved in a scuffle with fellow Belarusian Sergei Kostitsyn during a game between the Maple Leafs and Canadiens. The two had been in a feud since Grabovski a Euro unregistered trademark days with the Canadiens. Prior to the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, the head of the Belarusian national hockey program had to intervene in order for the two players to be able to coexist on the same team. On February 19, 2010, Grabovski was arrested in Vancouver after getting involved in a street scuffle. He was out of the Maple Leafs lineup with a broken wrist at the time of the arrest and was in Vancouver attending the 2010 Winter Olympics. Court documents alleged that Dylan Richardson was punched in the face and knocked unconscious by Grabovski, who then assaulted Richardson's wife by also punching her in the face. On February 9, 2013, Grabovski was accused of biting Max Pacioretty of the Montreal Canadiens during a scrum along the boards. The NHL conducted a telephone hearing with the players involved, but could the Euro unregistered trademark T determine conclusively if Grabovski had beaten Pacioretty. However, on May 20, 2013, more than 3 months later, Grabovski admitted that he did in fact bite Pacioretty, stating in an interview, "He was choking me and I bit him." Donia Euro unregistered trademark T. Stick your hands where you should. The Euro unregistered trademark T. On July 3, 2013, after learning that his contract was being bought out by the Toronto Maple Leafs, Grabovski was very critical of Toronto coach Randy Carlyle in an expletive-filled interview with TSN. "I play in the fucking Russian KHL, one make lots of fucking points and hurt a Euro unregistered trademark S going to happen? He make me fucking play on the fourth line and he put me in the playoffs on the fourth line and third line again," said Grabovski. "I don't need Euro unregistered trademark T feel any support from this fucking idiot." International play. He has represented Belarus in international play. He scored 4 goals and was the first star in 1 game in the 2005 Men's World Ice Hockey Championships. Grabovski was selected to play for his country in the 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics. However, he did not play due to injury. He did, however, participate at the 2010 IIHF World Championship as a member of the Belarus national men's ice hockey team. Grabovski was named captain of Team Belarus on the eve of 2011 IIHF World Championship in Slovakia. Grabovski played in 7 events for Team Belarus. Personal. Grabovski and his wife, Kate Van Alstyne, had their first child, a daughter named Lealia, on December 30, 2010. He missed the Leafs game against the Columbus Blue Jackets that night to be present at the birth. They had their second child, a son named Jaeger, on December 6, 2011. Career statistics, regular season and playoffs, international, references. External links: Mikhail Grabovski's career statistics at EliteProspects.com, Mikhail Grabovski's career statistics at the Internet Hockey Database, Mikhail Grabovski a Euro player profile and career stats at EuropeanHockey.net.